Lights, camera, action. Well, that's good for movies, but guess what? It's also good for writing. Find out what I mean right after this. Hey, it's Tuesday, time for another Prompt My Story video. I'm Marty Chan, a kids author, storyteller, and playwright, and every Tuesday I put out a video with some writing tips and story starters. Now, if you're new to this video and new to this channel, thanks for tuning in. I thought I'd give you a little background on what this is all about. About a year ago, at the start of the pandemic in 2020, I wanted to do something positive for language arts teachers and their creative students. I came up with the idea of weekly story starters that I posted on Twitter under the hashtag PromptMyStory. If you go to that hashtag, you'll see all the story ideas that I've posted and am continuing to post even now. Over the months, that hashtag idea evolved into this YouTube channel, where not only did I come up with weekly story starters, but I also wanted to come up with some quick writing tips so that students could become better writers. So that's the background behind this YouTube channel. In this video, I'm actually going to answer a question that was posed to me at a young authors conference that I taught at recently. A student asked, "Marty, how do you get past writer's block? What do you do when you run out of ideas?" Now, I've answered this question before in other videos, but I thought it's something that a lot of young writers face today, so it doesn't hurt to revisit the answer. Now, in order for me to answer that question of how to get past writer's block, I'm going to have to lay some science on you. No, don't go away. Don't go away. Trust me, it's not going to be that long of a science lesson. You see, there was a scientist named Sir Isaac Newton, and he came up with the third law of motion, which basically said for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Basically, what that meant is if you applied force on an object, you could move it forward. So that was the third law of motion. I decided to take Sir Isaac Newton's third law of motion and paraphrase it and transform it into something that will help you get past your writer's block. Think about it this way. For every story action, there is a character reaction. Now, basically what this means is if you get stuck in a story and you don't know what to write next, think about how the character in the scene reacts to the event in the story, the action of the plot. How does your character react to it? Based on their reaction, they're going to make a decision and do something. So by simply having a description of the character's reaction, you're able to move the story forward. In fact, let me share with you a real-world application of this. Imagine sitting in a classroom and you are bored of the subject. Maybe the teacher's talking about Sir Isaac Newton's third law of motion. You're like, oh no, not again. Marty Chan just told me about that. If you're a creative student, you're not just going to sit there and be bored. You're going to find a way to overcome your boredom. You're going to make a decision based on your reaction, which is, I'm so bored, I need to do something else. So you might pull out a fidget spinner and start playing with that. You might pull out your notebook and start jotting down ideas or doodling while the teacher's going on about Sir Isaac Newton. Or if you're into technology, you might do this, which I think some of you have done already. You pull out your device, your smartphone or tablet, and secretly check your device or play a video game. Naturally, what happens is the teacher will catch you and you'll get in trouble, but it moves the story forward. So if you're ever stuck and you're facing writer's block, think of that one simple statement. For every story action, there's a character reaction, and that should help you move that writer's block out of the way and allow you to move forward with your story. In fact, let's try that out with this week's story prompt. I'm gonna give you a little story prompt right now. You've got a chance to turn that into a story. If you get stuck, think about the little tip I gave you and see if you can move past your writer's block, okay? Here we go, this week's story starter. All right, there we go. A little prompt to get your imagination going. Remember, you don't have to describe exactly what you see. Let that prompt prod your imagination and see where it takes you. I hope you come up with some great stories off of that, and I hope you get past any writer's block you face. That's it for me. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.